Yeah, welcome to the dojo, baby, man. Have no fear. TyKwonDoe is here, man. Listen, 290K pack on the way, baby. We got Twitch chat in the building. And today we reacting to Chian, baby, go on a grilling episode with Fit from Fresh and Fit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them, man, and the success they be having, as well as Chian. She just got her conscious conversation out. And knowing I was going to react to these things, I purposely avoided clips, but I seen one clip that let me know what kind of, date or debate this was about to be. More debate than date. And I saw it was a clip of an interesting conversation they was having about, vulnerability and love. And Myron was spitting. He was spitting. I ain't gonna lie. It looked like he was cooking Chian when he was talking about, the debate between, man being in love and doing reckless things and being in a relationship with a woman and how a man should move. So we're gonna see what happens at that part. But already, first and foremost, when I look at this video, what is this posture? What is this? What is this seating posture? What is this body language saying? You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna press play. We're gonna get right into the festivities, man. Shout out to Twitch chat. Big 290K pack. We getting in this motherfucker.
I'm not gonna let a girl look at my phone.
Me neither, man.
Because I'm gonna have other girls in there. 100%.
First off, foremost, I want to say this. If you let a woman look through your phone, you weak. Let's continue.
Hi, I'm Reynolds and I'm back. New season, new dates. And to be honest with you, I'm not impressed with the dating.
Because at the end of the day, if you trust me, you trust me. Just trust me. If you don't trust me, you gotta let them be with somebody you trust. If it gives you anxiety and a lack of comfort to be with me as a man, you probably shouldn't be with me.
Insane.
No pause it.
I think 99% of the world's problems would be solved.
No pause. No, y'all know we pause a lot.
Females walk through life with their body count on their forehead.
I've given some high scores.
No, we pause there.
We might as well do the date properly.
See, I like this. And I've definitely given some low scores.
So, like,
no,
I just say there's Caribbean layers with nice jugs.
Oh my God. It's time to find a man that can tick all the boxes.
Do you know what? There wasn't actually any
This is a much better intro, too.
Wow.
Myron Gaines. I'm here to go on a date, I think. Or a debate, I don't know. Someone put a bag over my head and told me to show up here, and they just brought me here.
Do you go on a lot of dates?
Ooh. We're in England, so I can't invoke the fifth. Damn, what do you guys say when you don't want to incriminate yourself here in England?
No comment?
Yeah, okay, no comment.
By that, I'm judging you're a one night kind of.
He think like a fed when he like.
I try to keep my retention somewhat high. I need a good rating on what you guys use.
I never even thought of that. Like,
you guys use TripAdvisor? It's in 1997? What the hell?
Plead the fifth. I ain't got nothing to say, man. And not being able to say that in another country.
Yeah, you got nothing to hide unless it's like form of government stuff. But other than that, I'll say whatever that I can disclose.
Yeah, and finally, are you ready?
I think so. I don't know. The dudes that kidnapped me and brought me here, they said it would be fun. I don't know. Hey, what's up? How are you?
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Myron.
You gonna give me a hug or what?
Oh, okay, hug.
Where my hug at?
Yeah.
Where my hug at?
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Chilling.
You smell nice.
Thank you.
Yo.
He made me hug him. I don't know why I done that.
Yeah, she did it too.
How are you?
Chilling.
Chilling?
Doing well. Yeah.
Yeah?
+1 right there.
How about yourself?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, Myron. W-eye
Good.
contact.
It's a bit hot in here though, so my hands are
Yeah,
a bit like,
it is warm. I will say that.
W-eye
It's definitely
contact.
warm, but it's called grilling, right? So
Oh, I like that.
attractive but typical girl.
So tell me about you, Myron.
I'm a professional misogynist. No, I'm just
Yo,
kidding.
I ain't gonna lie. I've never actually like watched a full on like just Myron, just me and Myron, bro. That nigga funny as shit, bro.
Great.
I ain't gonna lie.
Loved by some, hated by many. Just
Yeah?
on the internet, yeah.
On the internet. Yeah, we're
Somebody
both
got
on the
that same
internet.
kind of
Yeah.
sense of humor, like
It's
that
a strange life.
sarcasm.
Yeah.
heavy
I've
on
seen some
sarcasm.
videos. You're not a fan of me, are you?
I'm not a fan of many things.
Yeah?
You just happen to be in there maybe a little bit.
Why is that?
We disagree on some things.
I thought we might get on though. That's why I'm like interested. Off to a great start.
Alright.
He hates me.
Yeah, this is already about to turn into a debate. Do y'all think Myron going to transition into the flirty, seductive vibe, or y'all think it's gonna go right all smoke?
I think it's very important to
It says 46 minutes to go, and this is after edits.
be able to
So we about to
articulate
see,
your
man.
views, and if you don't agree with someone, it doesn't mean you have to hate them, but
Exactly.
But I think being too agreeable is not good. Very
Really?
bad, especially as a man. Because typically if a guy is too agreeable, you can't trust him.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because all men want to get laid. And if you don't tell the truth and you're just being agreeable, well, he's trying to get laid and he's trying to lie as well. So.
Well, at least the man actually admits all men are trying to get laid.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's absolutely pointless to have a female friend.
No, it's not pointless to have a female friend.
Very pointless. 100%. Why would guys sit there and be friends with girls? It's pointless. Stupid.
So you don't have any female friends?
Absolutely not. It's a waste of time.
Only way a female friend could make sense, or a woman friend, is if y'all like co-workers. And then even then, like, what is a friend? Is this somebody you talk to every day, hang out around? So I think when we say this whole like female friend, like no female friends, I think it's like assuming that when you have a friendship, that shit is like some serious shit. But like in an average day man's life, in an average man everyday man's life, like most men don't have a lot of female friends unless you're in college with them. Shout out to King Famous for the 15 months on Twitch. Unless you're in college with them, like y'all have classes together, y'all work together at a job, y'all grew up together. But even then, when guys be like, yo, no, there's no such thing as a female friend, that's because there's the possibility that y'all could fuck. So this is the thing though. Just because we could fuck, does that mean we're not friends? I would define most men not having female friends because, like, I can't really see a reason that you would just be talking to some like woman every day just about like what do y'all talk about? Like,
how is it a waste of time?
Every day?
Because women don't offer much utility to you as a guy.
What makes you think that?
Well, I mean, if you get in some kind of fight, she can't do nothing. What's she gonna do? She's like, oh my God. It's like,
why would you want a woman
if
to
anything,
fight?
she's a liability. That's what I'm trying to
But
say.
a woman would fight. Like, I'd fight a woman for you if you're my man.
I don't want my girl to be involved in any type of physical confrontation.
Really?
That's not her job.
That'd be Chian.
That's my job. So I look at it like, if I'm with a girl and I'm supposed to protect her and provide for her, etc., I want that to be my woman. I'm not gonna give that type of energy to like a friend. That's stupid. Why am I gonna put my life on the line for a girl that doesn't even suck my dick? Wait, but is that too much there?
I think you should just be able to have a friendship with women though. Well, firstly, it's not always like men versus women. So I kind of feel like having female friends will give you that balance to understand like there's actually nice, normal women out there that aren't just trying to sleep with you like for your money or everything like that. We bring a lot of value.
Is that better, chat?
I've interviewed almost 1,600 women now at this point, and I would say, without a shadow of a doubt, women are absolutely terrible at understanding what it takes to be attractive to women as a man. So their advice typically is not good at all.
1,600 women. Poor women. Men carry like a lot of like
Miami butts.
and they push it on women.
Okay. Hurt in what way?
Yeah, I think it's because like, for example, this incel culture, which like respectfully, like your podcast really brings to life. You're just projecting onto women unnecessarily. Because there's a lot of good women. Like I myself would say I'm a good woman. I don't do anything wrong. I'm very loyal. I'm a kind woman. And a lot of men will make the assumptions because of podcasts like yours and people and men like you to then push that onto me, that I'm this kind of woman, I'm a gold digger and I'm this and that, and I'm not.
Well, the reality is, would it be fair to say that most men, I mean, you said there's a whole incel culture, etc. Would it be fair to say that most guys are losers and don't really measure up?
I personally don't think that. But
keep it 1,000.
No, but I'm saying,
keep it 1,000.
That's such a vague question, though.
Okay,
Being
genuinely
politically correct. I'll keep it real since you don't want to. Most guys, I'll be honest, are fat, losers, and don't have leadership qualities. And there's a whole bunch of reasons for that. And most women, quite frankly, are terrible. They're whores, fat, rude, crass, whatever it may be. And most of them don't qualify for a relationship, and most guys don't qualify to be the leader of said relationships. I think it goes on both parts. Okay, the men are...
Well, with that being said, if that's true, right, chat? Let's say that's true. Then it's a perfect fit. You put the shit and the piss in the same toilet. You know what I'm saying?
Weak, and the women, there's a bunch of issues.
If that's true.
So what we basically highlight on our podcast is you need to be the best version of yourself. And I think the thing is that guys are yearning for this because we've been lying to men for the better part of 5 to 6 decades about what being masculine and strong actually is. We've been demonizing it when in reality, guys need to become stronger. Because no woman wants a weak man, even though girls say dumb shit like, oh, well, I want you to be emotionally intelligent and get in tune with your feelings or whatever. It's all a lie. Oh, see. Okay.
No, but I personally would like a man that's emotionally available and emotionally intelligent, but it's not me saying like, I want you crying all the time. So Do you know what I mean? It's true
A
though.
lot of times people say that
Like,
they
so
don't
I
really
understand
know
what you're
what
saying, but at the
emotional
same
intelligence
time,
is.
you have
though.
to give some room for men because like men's mental health is a serious like
This is the thing.
issue.
I think people don't really understand what emotional intelligence is, right? And when I went back to school and changed my major to something that was relevant to this, and it talked about things like this, emotional intelligence is essentially being aware of another person's emotions and then changing or using yours in a way which is relevant to the setting, situation, circumstance, person, whatever. It'd be like, I know my mom is gonna get mad if I say it in this way. So I come up with a different way to say it because I know if I say it a different way, it'll get a different result. That's all emotional intelligence is. So a lot of times when we be like, I want somebody who's emotionally available, is in tune with their emotions. Men especially, we have a real duty to understand our emotions because guess what? We could hurt somebody. We think about all these school FBI agents, these school John Wicks. A lot of those are men because that is unbalanced, that is uncontrolled emotion, leading into some depression or pent up anger, resentment, and they enforce it out in the world. You know what I'm saying? Had this person been in tune with themselves, they might have sat there like a normal person and said, you know what? Well, just because they pissed me off at work today doesn't mean I have to go in there and shoot that bitch up. You know what I'm saying? So that whole idea of being in tune with your emotions, that does not mean being weak. That does not mean being, that does not go to the extreme. I think when people have these discussions, they don't really understand what the woman is asking for, number one. And then the woman also might not know, like, yo, there's limits to that in a man.
We tell guys not to be vulnerable in front of your girl. You go ahead, you're going to be vulnerable, you're going to shed a tear, whatever. You do that around other men that understand, the male experience. Women don't understand the male experience at all. And it goes to show, like when I said earlier, when you put the girl in a male perspective, I want you to pick up this girl. They always fall flat on their face because women are in a...
Well, I think so. Like, what is a reason you would cry to your woman, though?
Where they don't have to necessarily understand what it takes.
Somebody got an example of a time you would cry to your woman, unless you married her.
I would want to be able to give my man
or
safe
she
space
gave birth to your child,
and it's like, but not completely like, oh my god, cry all the time, but just so he knows, like,
okay,
it's like things are.
Mom died. I like that. Right, if my mom dies, right, well, whatever, and I cry in front of my girlfriend and she leaves me for that, that's an L woman. I don't think that strategically now as a man I should never be vulnerable in front of the woman. You know what I'm saying? That's extreme, but that was a great example though. I think to Myron's point here, if you are just consistently like a complainer, I think when he thinks of an emotional man, he thinks of a man who complains, who's not a man of action, and a man who just like sullies in problems and confiding in a woman. Instead of taking action, instead of being decisive, instead of saying, okay, this makes me feel this way and I'm gonna do something about it. And I would agree with him on that extent. But I don't think it's a bad thing to be vulnerable with your partner and for them to see you as you are and who you are.
They're okay. Like it's supposed to be a partnership.
No, it's not a partnership. That's another common lie in modern day dating. It's not a partnership.
But I want a partnership though.
Question for you. Do you want a man that's taller than you? Idealistically speaking?
Ideally, probably, because I like to wear heels. I like to be seen.
Fantastic. Do you want a guy that's stronger than you?
Yeah.
Do you want a guy that makes more money than you?
I'm not fussed about money.
Okay, well, you want it to make at least your equivalent, if not preferably better. Remember, this is your ideal guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want a guy that's more confident than yourself?
Yeah.
More experienced than yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, you basically described the superior. So you expect this guy to come in and have a partnership with you?
Whatever he might excel on, I'll also add value in other ways, because it's not always about being physically on par with that person just for certain requirements. Like, you can't birth a baby,
Yeah,
like but... So we complement each other in other ways, and so we're still equal in that sense.
Men and women are not equal at all. At all. That's another fallacy that we have in modern day dating culture, which leads so many women astray. We're not the same. There's certain things that men can do that women can't do, and vice versa. And we're different, and we're designed to complement each other, and I don't believe in partnerships. I
totally agree with Myron here. I think it's a joke for this this equality thing. I think it just is to my point what I said. Find somebody that compliments you. Find somebody that has what you need them to have, right? Like if you make a lot of money as a man, you're not expecting your woman to make a lot of money. If you're in a relationship, again, this is what I said. People like to follow these blanket rules. Dog, you could be in a situation where your woman works and you don't have a job and you're a stay-at-home dad. You could be in a situation where she works and you go back to school, or you work and she goes back to school and to make more money. Like, I've seen all types of things in successful relationships. Successful relationships are adaptable. Successful relationships are compatible, right? And they're guided. They have a sense of direction. That's one of the most important things I've seen in situations where people are married for 10 plus, 20 plus years, multiple kids, and then have sustained that relationship, is that their overall direction, they understand each other. Maybe they're into philanthropy. Maybe they say, I like to give back. I like to be involved in my community. So when his wife says, oh, I helped this person pay for their bills, he's not, why the fuck are you doing that? Because this is something he would have did. They have the same direction in mind. They have the same kind of, framework. And for example, I just have men in my family who cook. You know what I'm saying? So some night I see my grandfather might cook for his wife, or she might cook for him and make the plate, or she might do the dishes. Like, it's not in the household of do this and do that. It's a dynamic to where our needs are being met by each other. You know what I'm saying? And I think the idea of equality is like expecting the same from the other person. It's like, no. You're different from me and I'm different from you. I shouldn't expect you to provide what I provide. I should expect you to provide what I want you to and what sustains me as a person, right? Because let's say, I'm going to give an example of that. Let's say my woman's like, oh, hey, I take out the trash and, I wash dishes and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I actually prefer to wash dishes. Or I prefer to take out the trash. You know what I'm saying? So you doing things I don't need you to do. You see what I'm saying? So I don't like... This is the whole idea of being, compatible. That was a dumb, simple chore of an example, but I agree with Myron here. And I think the idea of a partnership comes from this new age, like capitalistic view in relationship, where we say, okay, who's the prize? We try to like commodify and like bring value. For example, we like to say men are the wallet and women are just sex. You know what I'm saying? We just attribute the value of a man for his financial value to the relationship. We don't say, well, what if is he a father figure? Does he have any influence? Does he have any insight, any leadership or guidance in the relationship within the household or the structure of the family? Well, we say, this woman, is she young? Does she have a low body count? Now, is she a nurturing mother? Does she, does she manage emotions well with the family? Does she, does she provide structure to the family? Does she do what needs to be done as the role and position of a mother or a girlfriend or wife, etc.?
I think men come in and lead, women
this
follow.
This is a real important discussion right here.
And I find it funny because women typically want a man, and here's the thing, what you just described is what every girl wants. But they think that they're going to go into a relationship with a guy that's better than them in every single metric, and it's going to be an equal partnership or 50-50. It doesn't work that way. There's always a leader, there's always a decider. And for it to work, the man's got to be in a leadership role, never the woman. Women can't lead anything.
Yeah, we can.
No.
It creates too much pressure on you as a man then. Because if you want to be this like macho man, do you not think that's going to cause a lot of strain on a relationship?
Pressure creates dominance. Because here's the thing, women are just the cherry on top. Like you should have already built the cake by the time she comes into the picture. You should have already conquered a boardroom or conquered some kind of physical labor, or played sports at some point in your life, endured some kind of stress. Like, men need to go through pain. Men must become. Women are, men must become. Being a loser is unacceptable. If you're broke, fat, or you don't got your stuff together, that's your problem.
Yeah, but then men like you would complain about women because you'd say, oh, they only come for like the glory of it, like, and not the graft. So I'd rather be with someone that I'm building with.
Oh, I've never said that women build. I actually say the contrary. I say women don't build, they move in.
Yeah, but
I acknowledge that cold reality 100%. And I tell guys they need to build the castle so that she can come in and put some things up here and there in your castle. But at the end of the day, you got to build the structure. Women aren't going to build it with you. Those days are done. Women want a guy that's pre-assembled.
Some women do, though. Like, a lot of women do.
Some?
No, a few. Like, the ones I know.
I would say a minority. A majority want a guy that comes pre-assembled.
What is he talking about?
So we got to go off of the majority, not the minority. If I'm advising men how to, operate in the dating marketplace, I can't tell them, look out for this 10% that wants to build with you. No, the reality is most women want you to come pre-assembled. And to be honest, the most attractive and youngest women that have the most options, they definitely want you to come pre-assembled. Women want winners. They sit at the finish line and pick the winners.
That's just people in life, period.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in New Britain, Connecticut.
Okay.
2 hours north of New York City.
So what was your upbringing like?
Great. Parents were together the whole time, stable. I had a sister, brother. Still, I mean, they're still alive now. I haven't said had. But yeah, like they're gone, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I grew up, went to high school, played basketball in high school, played video games, still have my childhood friends to this day. I would say I grew up like in a pretty good situation. We didn't grow up with money, right? We grew up fairly, poor, lower middle class. My parents struggled, especially in the beginning. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I think it's important for young men to grow up like struggling.
Yeah.
I think it builds character. You have to do it.
How will you raise a son with your mindset? I'm just curious to know.
I would raise my son to not be a victim. I'm at a point now where very successful financially, but my son would not see any of this money at all. I would make him get it out the mud because, like we discussed before, trust fund babies typically don't know what to do in life and how to, they don't understand and appreciate the value of a dollar. And I thank my dad for instilling that in me early. I mean, my first job was at McDonald's and I got fired. And I quickly learned that I didn't want to be in the service industry, but it made me appreciate people in the service industry. So what is this, by the way?
So this is like a tonic wine. When I drink, I'm like quite a mellow person, chill, put you in the mood.
You're not an angry drunk?
No, I'm not actually.
No? Okay, that's good.
I'd be the worst angry drunk.
Yeah, well, I could tell.
So do you not drink?
I don't, it's haram.
So have you never drunk?
I have. I definitely have. But I mean, it's not really conducive to my life goals at the moment, so I don't really drink like that.
It's just more self-awareness, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, as a guy, man, you can't afford to have things that
you try to offer him a big part,
your ambition or your ability to go out there and create and become a better version of yourself. And I think like that's why I'm really big on like not drinking, doing drugs, any of that stuff. You got to be focused all the time.
So how do you find dating then, with the way that you are?
I mean, when you understand the code, it's plug and play. It's like, okay, deal with the girl, size her up, figure out what kind of chick she is, and then bam, you already know kind of how to move.
So like, what's the code?
Depends on the girl.
Okay.
You got to be able to adapt based on the woman that you're sitting across the table from. Yeah, I have the female codes in my sleeves. I know pretty much what they all are.
Okay, so how are you adapting to me right now?
You want me to be honest?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I would.
I want the code now, and then I'll ask the code again by the end of it.
Yeah, I would say recreational use only. No offense.
So what's like how many codes is there?
Well, it depends on the girl. If you deal with a girl that's younger, that's in her prime years, well, you got to understand that she's more, inclined to look for fun. If you're dealing with a girl that is in her mid-20s, a lot of times she might be pursuing, it depends on the girl, but she might be pursuing some type of stability or some security, and you got to play to that angle. Or if you deal with a girl that's a little bit older, late 20s, 30s, and up, 9 out of 10 times she's going to want some type of security.
Yo, this nigga got categorical assignments. First, I thought this was hitting for, you don't turn a hoe into a housewife. You feel what I'm saying? There are some women is like, I think it just comes down to, man, she want to be in a relationship, she want to have fun. She want to build a future in a family, or do she want to just have fun and have a good time? That's pretty much the two simplest ways you could just separate women. Is this fun, or is this building towards a relationship?
Security, she hasn't gotten there already.
Code, it's not even that deep. Like, either you like them or not, you don't need to put them in categories.
You're creating a whole
so
WNBA.
What kind of women do you want? Sorry.
Me? Mm-hmm. I mean, I could deal with whatever. My thing is, I need her to come into my life and be an asset and not a liability. Right. Most girls are liabilities, to be honest.
Do you think? I think 100%. The right woman, though, could, like, really just compliment you and make you, like, progress in your life.
This is the thing, though. This is where we're a lot of men, you need to recognize that, two men can mess with the same woman and get a completely different woman out of that same woman. Two men can mess with the same woman and get a completely different woman out of that same woman. Two men mess with that same woman, she could be a completely different one. I had to repeat that 3 times so you'll understand that. You know what I'm saying? And we really get into it, talking about like, oh, most women are a liability. Well, that's if she cannot get under the structure or the influence or vision that you have as a man. But you could mess with a woman and she could have some raw skills or talent or raw, value, which has not been tapped into. Because let's say the last guy she was messing with was super toxic, didn't add any value to her life. He didn't have anything to teach her. You know what I'm saying? In my world, I like to know that, man, this woman can pick up and learn from me, can take my game and move with that in life and become just as much as a winner as much as I am, and take that and move with that. Now, I'm not expecting her to make as much as me, make more than me, or any of the above. right? But there's certain game and certain insight and certain, you know, provision. And I like an intellectual. I prefer an intellectual woman, a woman who got it up here. You feel what I'm saying? But let's say you mess with the average chick and you just trying to fuck. You might not be on all that. You know what I'm saying? So she got to earn the knowledge from you. She got to be able to earn the wisdom in the game that you provide her. But if you ain't got no game, you a one-trick pony, you just out here swinging your dick around, this ain't the kind of conversation for you, my boy.
Well, you got to train them.
No, you haven't. In order to train someone, you need them to listen. I'm telling you, no woman is listening to you.
Like, most girls come into your life, like, and if
listen,
you don't know...
Chian just made a good point right there, though. She's made a good point right there, though. You know, whether he says train or you know, somebody says influence, whatever the fuck you label it as, right? The inevitable truth is that when a woman messes with a man, she's going to pick up from him. She's going to learn from him because 9 times out of 10, she's with that man. She likes him. She admires him, respects him, or something of that sort. So he is having an influence on her. And let's say they both toxic. They both got some issues they didn't resolve before coming into that relationship. They will bring the worst out of each other. Or let's say one person in that relationship is in a place, you know, spiritually mature, mentally mature, whatever. The other person now has another choice. Do I pick up from them and elevate to what level they're at? Mentally, spiritually, financially, etc. Or do I learn from them and elevate? Or do I show that I can't learn? And then at that point, you cut that other person off. Whether you're a woman listening to this or a man listening to this. Period. You cut that other person off.
What you're doing.
Some people just might not have had proper influence or, you know, training or you know, whatever the person in their life. You come in, you got to see, are they the type to pick up and learn and improve and get with the vision and get with the program and let's build and let's make something happen.
She's going to come in as a liability, 100%.
Men dancing.
No, you don't train them, though.
100.
Like,
listen, I'm telling you, no woman is listening to you.
Like, most girls come into your life, like, and if you don't know what you're doing, she's going to come in as a liability, 100%.
No, you don't train them, though.
You have to train
It's
them.
like training a dog. You wouldn't do that.
Oh, here we go. I knew that was going to...
No, but it's true, though. It's not training. It's not something like, once again, it's just seeing this person as your equal. Okay, but showing the person respect. It's not training.
So I look at it like, if I'm going to have a girlfriend and she's going to be my girl and she's going to have my title, well, she's got to be trained to rise up to a certain level because I'm going to make her into an asset. Buy me a bag, do this, blah, 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 take me on trips, whatever, when they haven't earned it. So you got to detrain those bad behaviors out of that girl and make her an asset into your life versus a liability. Most guys don't understand her value. They bring her into their life. They give her everything. She hasn't earned it. She doesn't respect him. She's walking all over him. She started to dictate the relationship. You're not getting sex tonight, blah, blah, blah.
He's so rude. Obviously, this is your...
See, a lot of people not going to like his delivery, but he's spitting right here. He's spitting right here. He's spitting. And I'm going to specifically co-sign that part about, you know, if she's going to be my girlfriend, my wife, mother of my children, and I am a man who has something to lose because I have this, you know, built up legacy and I want my children to exceed my legacy or my success. Who their mother is important. Again, if you just swinging your dick around and you just out here fucking around, this isn't the conversation for you. This is not the conversation for you. You know what I'm saying? But
Ultimate French Slayer.
If you are a man who is trying to build a legacy, who wants his kids to be better than him, who wants, etc., or more in life from his children, the mother of your children matters, number one. Then number two, when that becomes the mother of your children, she is now always attached to your reputation, your legacy, the influence of your child's life in one way or another. Something happened. Let's say you were already a made man when you met her, or even if y'all came up together, built each other up. She does something, they're gonna think of her, they think of you. You do something, they're gonna think of you, they think of her. It goes vice versa. You could be outside somewhere doing something with a chick, and they say, "Yo, ain't that such and such husband? Why is he embarrassing his wife?" If they don't know that, y'all might have an open agreement or whatever y'all got going on. But like I said, people are gonna look at you and judge you through your partner. That's a known fact.
Experience, so I can't argue that.
You
but
cannot make any woman your girlfriend. You cannot make any woman your wife. You cannot make any woman the mother of your children.
Biology. Women are hardwired to extract resources from men. It's been that way since the beginning of time. Biology rules everything, guys. They could sit there and say, "Oh, but I'm doing this and my truth, blah, blah, blah." Biology rules you. There's one truth. There's no such thing as my truth. Female, typical, blah, 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 trash.
No, but I kind of feel like from my experience, if I'm going into someone...
I think the red pill opinion, like the red pill problem is that it like weaponizes these things like a war kind of. like a woman needing, and we talked about this in the video I did on the difference between, you know, masculine and feminine energy, and you know, masculine is passion, feminine is compassion, and you know the idea behind that, and talking about, you know, those resources. The reason she may do that is because if she's in a vulnerable position, right, raising children, being pregnant, you know, she's putting herself in a position where she needs the resources in order to sustain herself, because if she's focused on the family or the kids or, you know, bearing a baby, it's much harder for her to have a full-time job. It's much harder for her to, you know, balance 10 in a million things. So if those resources are already there, it makes taking care of the children or the likelihood of those children to survive 10 times more, you know, likely. You know, I'm just making the 10 times more part up. But obviously she'll have a better time being a parent when there's what other things that she need being taken care of. That's just, like, there's nothing to weaponize about that. That doesn't make women heinous villains or some shit like that.
I would want to add value, so I wouldn't really take things, and I kind of feel when you...
What did you just say 2 seconds ago? You said, in my experience.
Yeah,
I come in and I add value.
Yeah.
That's you. Majority of women come in, meet the guy. Okay, what can I get from this guy? Okay, this guy's a simp. I'll just take him out on dinner dates he could pay. I'm never going to smash him. Another guy, this guy's hot. You know, I can smash him. I can hang out with him. This guy, he has some utility. He's a plumber. Okay, he could do my plumbing, but I'll give him a BJ once. Girls put guys in roles. It's your job as the man to make sure you're the top guy and you got the main role where you're not investing too much and she's investing more in you. Girls only respect men that they invest in. The girl always has to like the guy more than she likes him.
No, I think it works better the other way around.
When the guy likes the girl more?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Why doesn't it make sense?
Because women want a man that's better than them. So how do I look if I'm better than you and I'm sitting here chasing after you? It doesn't make sense. Women only respect men that they chase. It doesn't work the other way around.
Once again, with this like new wave of women,
people within this argument, it's like an assumption that if I like you more, I'm chasing you. You know what I'm saying?
Don't want to keep fighting for a man if he's going to treat you like an option.
See, here's the thing. We can say that women are changing, whatever, but we're all slaves to our biology. Women are 100% okay with sharing men. It's been that way since the beginning of time. I would say it's even more apparent now. With Instagram, dating apps, etc., a minority of men are getting a majority of the women. And women are okay with that. I mean, walk into a nightclub. It's probably one of the most carnal representations of human nature. All the women are sitting in one section with a bunch of the guys that have the highest perceived status in that social setting, versus all the other guys are out there in general admission struggling. So, women always gravitate towards the best guys, and they're willing to share those guys.
So what's your type?
I think these results have been extremely exacerbated by social media apps, because a lot of times they do this data to the extreme. It's always like, okay, look at Tinder this, you know, swipes for this and swipes for that. And in real life, bro, it's not that competitive. And depends on the setting you in. Depends on what level you are in life. If you are in a nightclub, in a place where, you know, you got to have money to get a section, and those women are in there looking for men who have money to get a section, or women, of course that factor is more dependent, right? But you could be the top guy in a fucking, like, a high school classroom, no money, just whatever, and be getting the majority of the women in there. Or there'll be some women in there who say, you know what, I don't really give a fuck if he's the top guy or not. You still have a chance to get those women, because let's say they're in your everyday life. You get a woman at Starbucks. You get a woman that works at fucking, you know, she's a manager at H&M or something like that, or, you know, she's doing whatever wherever. Like, I don't get with this rhetoric. First, the complaint was that women talk to hood dudes or you know, Pookies and Ray Rays, and they cheat on a guy who's less than. Like, chat, is this rhetoric not contradicting? Is, you know, on one end of the argument, it's always like, oh, women mess with bums, women mess with blah, blah, blah. But then on another end, it's like, oh, women don't want this man, and they always want, you know, this higher standard and this higher quality. Which one is it?
My type. Mm-hmm. Fit, feminine, friendly.
Yeah.
Submissive.
Which pill y'all take?
And coachable. And coachable. To be trained. You got to train women, man. I know that sounds terrible.
He's still talking.
Women don't like it when they get
not even halfway through.
If I go on a podcast and I say, you know what, guys, you need to stop being bums. You need to get your money on point, stop being fat POSs, etc. They actually admire and respect that. People are in the chat, flame emojis, whatever. I go on rants on the guys all the time. I'm sweating, going crazy. It's like I'm delivering a preach. I think she's trying to grow me, but what she doesn't know is I'm a black belt in this. I've dealt with 10 girls like her at the same time on my podcast, so she's gonna take an L. Women rarely get held accountable for their poor decisions. Men do, though. Men have to live in reality. Women are afforded the privilege of being delusional.
Vito Corleone said, women and children can be careless, men can't.
So when a guy criticizes a woman, oh my God, right? If you don't believe me, think about it. If a dude's fat, we just call him fat. You're a loser, huh? If a woman's fat, love your curves, girl. You go. She's rude and obnoxious. Oh, you know what? They just can't handle you. You're strong and independent, fierce. We have all these terms to cover up female inadequacies, but we don't have these same terms for men.
I think it just, a lot of it comes from like narcissistic behavior from men and misogynistic
Women are far
views.
more narcissistic than men are.
No, women can be, so I'm not disputing that.
Far more narcissistic.
But I kind of feel like with men that attain a certain level of status and power, it gives you the opportunity to try and to dominate.
Big difference though.
No, but this is
men
why
earn narcissism.
men do not earn a right to be narcissistic. Like, just shut up.
Men earn confidence and arrogance. Women don't. Women are born with their value. Men must earn their value. So if a man's arrogant, more than likely he's probably accomplished something. When a woman's arrogant, 9 out of 10 times, she hasn't accomplished anything. She just has a bunch of DMs. See, this is the problem that a lot of modern day women have. They lack critical thinking skills. Women tend to go off of their feelings versus what's real. They go off the feels and not the reals. What a girl is supposed to do is come into a man's life, see where he's deficient. Okay, I noticed that you like to go to the gym at this time. I'm gonna make sure that you have a protein shake with as many grams of protein as you need.
Just get a PA.
I'm gonna make sure that's done, and I'm a deductive problem solver. I'm able to be observant, because that's women's gift, is being...
You see how Chian just reacted there? It's because he has made the dynamic of a relationship sound so much like a war between the couple and the man and woman, like man versus woman, that it's like the thought of a woman doing something for him just irked her or irritated her. When in reality, right, if a woman cares about you, if you are a man she respects, women will do these things willingly. Like, you won't even have to ask a woman to do something like that. Like, women are very detail oriented. Oh, I know you should have this in your house. Or I was out shopping and I noticed this might look good on you. They'll buy you something. Or, whatever the case may be. When she really cares about you, and this is what the dudes be like, oh, women care about money, care about money, care about money. They do not, bro. Emotion rules their decisions. So you get the woman, and this is the thing about men, they don't understand. A lot of men get the pussy but completely miss the woman. You get the woman, you'll never miss the pussy. It's a lot that comes with the woman herself that she will do for you willingly. When she respects you, she values you. Now, for whatever reason, catch this, for whatever reason, you have positioned yourself for her to value you, results may vary. And what do I mean by that? You can position yourself for her to value you for your money. You can position yourself for her to value you for your status. But you can also position yourself for her to value for your influence, your wisdom, your guidance, your character. You know what I'm saying? And the irreplaceability of all the combined factors of you as a man. That's where you really win. You don't win when you say, oh, I got the bag and I got clout. She like me. You win when she says, him, Ty, everything he is as he is, I don't give a fuck if I meet a guy with more money, taller, and more handsome, whatever the case may be. He's not Ty. The combined person that Ty is. That's when you win. That's when they make up these situations. Well, Drake come in the room. Drake fucking your girl? No, because Drake's not me in her eyes. Now, if she's with me for status and money, and a man of higher status and money comes into place, of course she's gonna go. But it depends how you position yourself. And again, once you position yourself in that way consistently, you filter out the woman who only wants you for those things, because you test her, you vet her.
Being observant of social situations. That's why women are socially superior to men. Oh, I thought you were going to say that's sexist. Okay. No, it's never sexist when a guy mentions something about a woman that's positive. So a woman's job is to use that social calibration that they have, that they're superior to men in, and be able to be like, okay, this guy's deficient in this and deficient in this, etc. Let me come in, compliment, make this guy operate. He's already operating at 95%. I'm going to get him to 102. And when you're at a high level already, that extra 2, 3, 4, 5% is what helps you beat the competition.
This guy's dangerous. Women will do that. A lot of women will give you that life. They will give you that balance. They will compliment you, but they're not going to just do it until you're serious. Because men like to play the field for a very long time.
When you're with a guy of value, you got to understand that he has the leverage, not you. You're applying to be his girlfriend. I wear the highway, baby, because at the end of the day, when you can replace a girl, that's when she respects you. It's on the woman to prove to me that she's worthy of a relationship. That's where a lot of girls make a mistake. They'll sit there and say, I'm good, I'm loyal, blah, 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 blah. I want to, see how you do before you get promoted. I'm not going to give a girl the position of secretary or underboss, right? Or second in charge of my company unless she's been vetted. She's got to work her way up. The problem is that we give women CEO jobs when they haven't proven themselves and they don't respect the job.
Who's listening to this man?
So here's the thing, you're looking at equality from a human perspective. I'm not saying that men are better than women from a human perspective. I'm saying that men are leaders, so therefore we cannot be equal. When you're on the battlefield, right, and the lieutenant or whoever the commanding officer is on the battlefield, you're not equal to him as, a regular soldier. He is the leader. You're not equal, but there's a reason. There's a hierarchy to dictate order. If the woman is equal to the guy, well, who's going to make the final decision? Nothing gets done by a committee. There always has to be one leader in charge. There's a reason why there's a president, there's a CEO, etc. Both people can't be alphas, as they say. The problem is this: women are confused about what men actually want. They think a CEO, a boss, a business owner, ambitious, competitive woman. We don't give a shit about none of that stuff. Men don't care about that. And I would argue the more money a man makes, the less he cares about his woman's ability to earn money. Men and women are not the same. Women basically become the very men that they want to attract.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, so men, I find that men will say that they like women that have ambition to start. It's what makes...
It's a lie to get laid.
No, I wouldn't say it's even a lie.
It's a lie to get laid.
It's not, because for me, whenever, I've dated and stuff like that.
That's cap, though. It depends, though. In his eyes and his perspective, he does not need a woman to be ambitious in his life. That's not what he needs from a woman. So if he sees a man says that, he's like, you don't need that. What the fuck you need her to be ambitious for? If my wife is my fucking partner in business, I damn sure need her to be. Let's say me and my wife start a business. We're already married. We're already in a relationship. We say, babe, all right, let's start this. Damn right, I'm gonna need her to be ambitious. Damn right, I'm gonna need her to have some vision or to be able to, manipulate herself in a room full of opportunities. Because God forbid I'm not present, right? She can guarantee a networking opportunity or a business opportunity and hold her own just as well. Maybe that's my vision for how I want that business to be ran, right? And if I'm smart, I would hope she is almost just my followers are just as strong as me as a leader. And this is the part where I think his mentality of the not equal thing and this whole red pill mentality, it weaponizes it against each other. We kind of forget it's the we, us team. We on the same team. So if I sit here and say, oh, I'm the leader and this is my woman is not equal to me, that's because I'm doing what I need to do for our team and she may be doing for what she needs to do for our team. We are benefiting each other in the ways that we need each other too. So if I'm a man, I make a lot of money, and I don't need my woman to have a lot of money, and I don't need her to be super high, strong, independence, and all that thing. That's because I need other things and qualities out of her as a person. But let's say I'm a broke boy, I'm a whatever, I'm dependent on my woman. Damn right I need her to have some money. Damn right I need her to have that motherfucking bag. Damn right I need her to have that motherfucking job, the car. I'm driving her wheel. You know what I'm saying? How are you positioned and what works for you? I would not suggest that at all.
A lot of men say they like the fact that I am ambitious, that I have a career.
They want to get laid.
No, but I'm saying, in general, a lot of men get irritated, nowadays, so you're dating all these women and you're going to say, all these women do this, is they do nothing and they expect. But that's the qualities that a traditional woman would bring. She'd want a man to do things for her, so...
But here's the thing, she complements that man's life.
So do you want a relationship?
Monogamous?
So how many girlfriends do you want?
I mean... as many as I can. I mean, I probably have 4 wives. I think I could do 4.
This man wants 4 wives. He's going back 500 years?
4 wives is the way to go. Because if one acts stupid, you can go ahead and get another one.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. No guy wants to be monogamous. Man, most guys that are monogamous out of force. If I lined up 100 dudes and I said, listen, man, you can keep your girlfriend, right, while you simultaneously smash these girls and she's not going to care, he's going to take it. Every time. Most guys have to kind of concede to what their girl wants. This stupid quote, happy wife, happy life. I think that's the dumbest quote ever.
I mean, it's a good quote.
Absolutely not.
Why?
Because a woman's job is to please the man, not the other way around. A woman's job is
to please each other.
Women are pleased by being with the best man in the area. Women are pleased by you being the best version of yourself. As a man gains more status, success, income, etc., the woman wins. All his success, she benefits from that. It's not the same. When a woman makes more money, earns more status, etc., and she starts to outgrow her man.
A very materialistic outlook and perspective on life.
She's going to look for a better man. Men and women are not the same.
So, but some women, we are emotional beings. Like, we will stay with
Which
the
is
man.
a problem. They're erratic.
But we will stay with the man. Like, if a man loves us and is loyal, we will.
Again, look at that though. Thinking it's a problem for a woman to be emotional. It's just how they are, gang. It just is what it is.
Dang.
Really?
You know
Is that why women
That's
initiate
a part of the
an overwhelming
balance.
amount of the breakups? Because they're emotional and they're loyal? No. Women are the most disloyal creatures that we have.
Yeah, but I feel like you're.
Which is okay.
So do you like the whole sugar baby kind of lifestyle? Man look after the woman. That's you.
No, not at all.
But that sounds like it. Like, you want to be this provider. So that sounds like it.
Well, here's the thing.
But then you
Didn't
moan
they
about
find
women
him
for doing
on,
that.
like,
So,
sugar baby
you
websites
know,
and
if
stuff?
you
I don't
show
mind
that
it.
you provide
I accept that women are hypergamous creatures that want to get their needs met through men. I accept this reality, and I've accepted it a long time ago. I'm a firm believer that men need to be men need to lead, women follow, men pay for dates, men should provide, men should be breadwinners. I think women working should be elective. I don't think it should be mandatory.
This guy is definitely a sugar daddy.
I tell guys all the time, go on sugar sites and use them to date, because there's a lot of girls on there that aren't necessarily, how do I say this, sugar babies that are just looking to be taken care of and paid an allowance. There's a good amount of girls on there that make their own money or just want to deal with a guy that has his stuff together. Let's be honest. Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, these traditional dating apps, they fail 90+% of men, and the stats show that. How you meet a woman matters a lot more than meeting the woman. And what I mean by that is that women place a lot of importance in the context under which they meet you.
And this is a key strong point here. Key strong point here. You got dudes who will complain about women, but they're only meeting women under the same circumstances. Only under the same circumstances. Well, damn, you know something, this shit just ain't work out, man. And you met that woman in a strip club. Not saying you can't find love in a strip club, but bro, you was throwing money on her and you sitting here talking about why she don't love you. Or why she didn't love you like she thought she was. Because in her eyes, you was a trick. In her eyes, you was a trick. You know what I'm saying? And you know, these quick dating apps, a lot of people just trying to fuck. And it's the thing, though. You could, if you say, all right, I only had this many matches using dating apps, go the fuck outside. There are women everywhere. Go outside. You probably one of them weak-ass motherfuckers who say, oh, such and such is code approaching. How is a normal interaction called code approaching? How is introducing yourself to a human being and let them know who you are, giving them your number, etc., whatever? That's not code approaching. That's how life worked for the majority of period of time. You would have had to speak. You would have to introduce yourself. You would have had to, use your mouthpiece. But I say that to say, you will get, let's say you get less action on these apps. Go outside, bro. You could bump into a woman literally going to order food at the McDonald's drive-thru. You chick behind there. Let's say you want to check a high status. You might go places where people of status go. You might go, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? You can't just use the same one way and be like, all right, I'm going to complain about the women I meet off of these sites. Not saying women from those sites are bad quality or whatever the case may be. But from on the other side, with coaching these guys, and they say, I dealt with this woman and she ain't want this and she tried to finesse me for this. They're probably not even using their everyday walk outside lifestyle to go get women.
It's my job as a man to not get finessed.
Places.
Did you ever get finessed? Because I kind of feel like you run this like so hard. Like
every guy's taking L's.
Don't go nowhere outside.
I wouldn't be in a position to be able to give this information if I didn't take plenty of L's.
Listen, he's definitely been finessed before, and now he's like come back with a vengeance.
No.
Hey, it'll be interesting to see what like your experience with London women are.
Okay, they're not as hot as the girls in Miami. I'll just be honest. Yeah. But Miami's an anomaly. Like we got the most attractive girls, per capita, like in some place in the world. Like if you compete, like maybe with Colombia, Brazil, etc. But yeah, I mean, Miami's an anomaly. Yeah, British girls are not as hot as Miami girls. I mean, but it is what it is. Yeah. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I'll try to womanize here and see what happens. But my standards have went up. Oh yeah. What?
That's not good.
That's a good thing. See, it's such a negative term, but womanizers are actually the best guys.
Yeah.
Womanize. I hope he meets a woman from South. Really?
They know what's attractive. They know how to take a girl on a date. They know how to treat a woman well, etc. It's the weirdos that you guys don't want. The womanizers are the ones you guys want. The misogynists, those guys.
Oh.
I would argue sexism benefits women.
Really?
100%.
Why is that?
Because with sexism, it adds a whole other standard and a whole other league for women. I mean, if there wasn't sexism, there wouldn't be a WNBA or a female MLS, or we wouldn't have different standards for, female police officers or female firefighters, etc. I mean, actually in the UK, if I'm not mistaken, female firefighters can fail the test and still get the job, versus a man would never be able to do that. I can't think of anything sexist that benefits men, besides maybe being able to sleep with a lot of girls and being respected, but that's tough to do.
This is ridiculous. What, sleep with loads of women?
100%, very difficult.
I do agree, like it's a lot harder for men to get sex, but I don't understand like why there's so much obsession with like this body count and everything and the double standard.
Do you have an issue that men have an issue with a woman's body count, or do you have an issue with men wanting a lot of sex?
A bit of both, really, because I kind of feel like
I'm gonna say this as a complete disclaimer to this entire situation. This just feels like a super superficial, surface level way of like living my life. Like if this is what you think the world just is, I'm here to say it's not. I'm here to say it's not. You do not have to be in a situation where you're constantly competing against women. You feel like you're fighting them. You feel like you're just doing everything to prove something to a woman, and you just nothing you do can win and all that stuff. Bro, you can be about something more and beyond that in life. You can be something, you could look for and want much more from your woman. And as you stand on those principles, you will filter out the weak options. Even let's say you have no options. You one of those dudes, whatever you guys invisible and blah blah blah. Go in situations where a woman doesn't even want, like it's not that big of a deal to her. You might meet a woman at the fucking library or on a marathon jog or wherever the fuck you may go. There's so many ways to meet people. You go to a poetry slam or some shit, a concert, or concert might not be a great place, but I'm just saying, you do not have to just live this constricted viewpoint. I feel like this is suffocating on spirituality, on mental health, and on true purpose in life. Because as a man of purpose, I don't sit here and say, I don't even use dating apps. I'm not on dating apps saying swiping left and trying to fuck something. Because I'm grinding towards what I want to build. And if I meet a woman on my path of creating a better life for myself, so be it. That's how I meet women. That's how I just naturally engage with what I do. I don't sit here and say, well, I'm competing with my woman. Everything I'm building is to build for my family. So eventually there's a woman out there who will benefit from all my work. And I'm completely fine with that, because she will give me a child who we agree on how we're going to raise them or produce them, etc., how that may be, in a way that we want the life to be lived, right? You see what I'm saying? And the point of saying we is that we are on the same page. I'm not going to force anybody to be someone I want them to be. Either we're on the same page, this is the program, this is what it is, or we're going forward, or go find somebody that's better for you, respectfully. And that's out of love. Go find a man that fits you better, because I'm not your type. Respectfully.
You get mad if a woman is sleeping with multiple men.
Yeah, rightfully so.
But then if you do the same.
Men and women aren't the same. Well, how about this? Let's say me and you are dating, right, hypothetically, and you find out that I might have done some gay porn in the past to make some money. What would happen? Keep it 1,000.
What would happen?
Yeah.
I feel like...
You would break up with me. That's the truth. You would leave me if you found out.
Well, because I would assume that you were gay, and then I'm your secret to cover up your gay identity.
But my past matters, right?
But it's not necessarily like the fact that it's your past that matters. It's just the fact that you aren't being.
But it was unattractive. That's how men feel about women that have a past. Men are interested in a woman's past. Women are interested in a man's future. Body count matters, ladies. If you're a hoe, you are a hoe by definition. And men are not hoes. We are hoe makers. That's the reality.
So would you not be with a woman for her family background or whatever like that? Because I kind of feel when you do your background check, those things are really important when you're dating someone, because you kind of want to understand their mindset.
Yeah, there's always exceptions to the rule, but in general, girls that come from broken homes typically tend to have very bad habits. Girls that don't have a father in their life typically tend to have bad habits. Is this all? No, but a majority of women that don't have these things in place typically don't end up being good women in general. They don't have rudimentary basics. Or if they have trauma in their life, whatever. Trauma destroys women, but it builds men.
This guy is insane. Like, I actually think he believes his own bullshit.
So as a guy...
that was just straight bullshit right there.
Trauma in their life, whatever. Trauma destroys women, but it builds men.
What? Nigga, trauma is trauma. Nigga, if I get into a car accident and I'm traumatized by that shit, man, woman, dog, cat, rat, or roach, I'm gonna be a little antsy next time I get into a car. You know what I'm saying? Character, he's seeing gender. He's seeing, you know, sex. Like character, your character is your character. You could go through some shit as a man or a woman and be broken by it or made by it. I do agree. The more challenges you go through in life, the more shit you persevere through, you build resilience. But there are men who get broken by shit that they go through in life. There are women who triumph beyond that and deal with it. Hence, single mothers. How, you know, that shit not hard. That shit not, that shit not easy. Balancing the role of two parents within one. You know what I'm saying? That's fuck shits up. You know what I'm saying? It's more, so it's like
insane. Like I actually think he believes his
right
own
there.
bullshit.
So as a guy, it's your job to find a girl that isn't, it's going to sound terrible, and hopefully we don't get canceled for me saying this, tarnished.
Single mother was the choice. Does it make it any
It's
easier?
not really fair to say tarnished.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Because like a lot of people do
statement
hold
didn't
themselves
take away from the
accountable and
point
do the
that I
work
just made.
and personal development.
Women?
Well, yes, we do. So before you wanna, glad you find it funny. Why does he keep laughing at me?
most girls don't hold themselves accountable whatsoever. Most girls rarely self-approve, if ever. Most girls think, I'm special, I'm perfect the way that I am, I'm a princess, I deserve the world, and unfortunately, reality kind of smacks them in the face because they can't.
If she's with the right man, he'll let her know, all right, these are the areas you can build, improve, and here's how we going to do it. You know what I'm saying? To the point of this lack of accountability thing, I'm going to go ahead and push that podium further, because guess what? You go through something with a woman, bro, 9 times out of 10, they are not used to taking accountability. You know, it's usually daddy's princess or daddy's little girl, especially if she pretty. She, like, this is the thing about pretty women. Y'all got to understand this. Because you are pretty, and I would say this to any woman, because you are pretty, that dude wants to fuck you more. He is more likely to just let you walk over him, do whatever, say whatever, or be whoever you are, just so he can fuck. And over time, when you're used to people around you, it'd be the same if I had a group of friends and nobody tells me about myself. That's like the same complex of a pretty woman dating men. And over time, you know, let's say she get in an argument, she might be used to walking out on that man, and he comes out and chases her. She might be used to, they get into an argument. This is in my experience, what I've seen a lot of women do. They get into an argument. It's no, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize, etc. And this might be a lack of maturity, just to be a disclaimer on that. This might be a pure lack of maturity. But what's more likely than an apology is she gonna try to make me feel good. She gonna come back extra sweet, extra nice. So fuck the fact that we just had a disagreement or argument. Oh, you just want to be super nice now, like we just gonna skip over everything that just happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I seen a lot of women handle conflict. Like, they try to like breeze by it.
Can't keep a guy long term.
Unresolved issue.
And once modern day women understand that you actually have to compete, you actually have to show up to that job interview for that prestigious law firm in a suit and actually be ready to do the work, you're never going to be able to keep a job, or in this case, keep a guy.
Right.
It's a lot of bullshit. In philosophy.
Have you ever suffered with mental health?
No, thankfully.
Really? Have you ever suffered with mental health?
No, thankfully.
Really?
If I'm going through something, I'm able to just like kind of use it as motivation to push myself through that time period.
So how do you deal with it? Through fitness, I'm guessing? Yeah,
that's a big one. I was a Division I athlete in college, and I rode. It's a very painful sport for anyone that does it. So if you can do a 2,000 meter race or a 6,000 meter race, then you can deal with a lot of other stuff. Makes you mentally tough.
Mentally tough. Do you find that you always have to be tough?
Yeah, you can't afford to not be as a man, because the difference is this. When a woman cries on a man's shoulder, that man doesn't lose attraction and respect for that woman. However, if a man cries on a woman's shoulder, she's inevitably going to lose respect for that man. She might not at that moment. She might be there like, I got you, whatever. But there's something revolting from a female perspective to see their man cry. Now, you might not be someone that's like that, but I've had so many women on my podcast say, I thought I can accept it, but when you cried in front of me, it just changed. No. And the reason why is because, like...
That's an L woman. That's an L woman. Like I said, we made that example earlier. If my mother dies and I cry to my wife or my girlfriend or whoever I'm taking serious to, and that like turns her off, she can walk herself out of my life. No bullshit. So that's some bullshit right there. Like that's a knock on the type of person that I'm dealing with. Not really like women.
There's this visceral like switch in a woman's head. It's like, this guy's crying in front of me, showing weakness. Damn, this guy can't protect me and provide.
But on the other end, like if you are fucking just a crybaby and not a problem solver, and you don't like if you like, I feel like no bullshit. This really applies. You should listen to this if you are a pussy. Like your pussy's tighter than hers. You just got all this vaginal energy till you just weak as an individual. That's repulsive to anybody. Like every time a problem or inconvenience comes, instead of just handling it, dealing with it, solving it, you just like break.
For me, right? Even if it's not true, even if it's like a moment of weakness, it can show something that like, oh, this guy isn't there. Because like women are designed to look for survival value in men. Men are designed to look for replication value in women.
Yeah, I think it's unfair to like completely rule that out. Because I feel like it's fair for a man to be able to do that. You are allowed to have a moment of weakness.
Life isn't fair.
But, okay, life's not fair. But I think you should be allowed your moment of weakness. And I kind of feel like from a woman's perspective, it will be then how you then deal with that.
I think we should end world hunger. I also think that we shouldn't have nuclear weapons and people shouldn't be dying needlessly, etc. But I can't operate on should, could, and would. I operate on what is. And what is that women are inherently unattracted to weak men, and crying and showing vulnerability is a component to that.
No, so you wouldn't cry in front of me?
Absolutely not. Never. You would never see that.
Have you ever been in love?
To a woman?
Yeah.
I've had love for women, but I don't think.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it's in a man's best interest to be in love with a woman.
But
you lose control.
So I feel like everything and your standpoint on women is gonna change the moment you like meet the right woman. Yeah.
That's cute, but no. I mean, I have, I've had love for women, but I'm never gonna fall in love with a woman, because when you fall in love with a woman, what happens is you start to lose grounding and you start to lose that rational thought. A lot of the stupid things that men do is because of love.
So you're scared to be vulnerable?
No.
And let yourself go and be in love. Like you're gonna block yourself from like emotion and to feel for something that could be really amazing for you because you're scared to be vulnerable.
No, because I understand that men and women are different, and men love women far differently than women love men. Men love women for real. Women love men.
Women love men for real.
No, they don't. Yes, women love men under the premise that they provide value. Men love women idealistically. Women tend to love men more from an opportunistic standpoint.
Let's just touch on that, the being in love part. What the actual fuck? I imagine that when Myron is in a relationship, he is sleeping with one eye open. Like I just can't let this. She can't see for who I am. She can't know I actually love her. She can't know I wanted to cry yesterday. She can't, man, because if she sees this shit, man, she's gonna fucking leave me. It almost feels like you're in a relationship with that woman as you're not even truly in the relationship with her. She is in the relationship with your projection of yourself. I need y'all to really hear me when I say that. She's not even truly in a relationship with who he is as a man. She is in a relationship with a projection of himself. Because he is so defensive against her and what she may do to leave or use him that it really bothers him. Now again, my relational communication class, we talked about the dialectic of utilization and affection. And that relationships, all relationships, not just between man and woman, between you and your friend, your best friend, you and the neighbor that you have. All relationships have this dialectic. Utilization, meaning how useful that person is to you, how useful you are to them, and affection, right? And typically, the more a relationship leans towards affection, it's something like, my mom, no matter what I don't or do provide to my mom, there's affection there. So she's not, even though parents expect a lot of us and you must do this in order for me to love you, at the end of the day, the relationship is mostly based off of affection. So you can disappoint them, upset them, and they'll probably forgive you and continue to love you as their child because you're their child. They love you, right? But let's say I meet a friend. We may only be friends under the circumstance that we partner together on collaborations of videos. We might become more closer to each other, right? But our friendship was established and based upon I work hard or he works hard, or whatever the case may be. In friendships, the closer you get to a person can transition more into having both. For example, if you and your friend do each other favors and y'all don't keep tabs, like, oh, you owe me $5, or I paid for the last dinner, can you pay for the next one? If y'all don't keep tabs like that, then that's affection more than utilization. You see what I'm saying? You're doing it based on like, all right, I care about you. I'm not doing it because you're going to pay for my next dinner. You see what I'm saying, chat? So it just seems like he has this world of like, I'm using her, she's using me. That's purely what's involved here. There's nothing, there's no care, there's no genuine care involved. There's no like, you know, whatever. But I will co-sign the point about being in love. That is dangerous. Why? It's the difference between being in love with someone and to love someone. I'm going to say that one more time. There's a difference between being in love with someone and to love with someone. Being in love, look this shit up. And I remember this from the class. Being in love with someone can last 6 to 2 months. It's rarer statistically that a person has that honeymoon phase for longer than 2 years. Some couples have it. I think it was like 15%, 20%. It was lower, right? But that in love shit is like 6 to 2 months. The person can still give you butterflies. Y'all can still enjoy each other's presence. Y'all can still have a good time. But that like lovey-dovey blind love, 6 months to like 2 years, right? Now, with that being said, to love someone is an active thing. It is an adaptable thing. It is ongoing. To love someone is active. Like I put an effort to love you, but being in love with you is just an emotion. It's just an emotional cocktail. It's a high. It's a feeling. But if I love someone, if I'm doing things to love someone, I'm actively doing it. I may be looking out for, you know, their needs. I may be, you know, checking on them. I may be say, hey, I set this time aside for us to spend time together. Whatever the case may be. Like being in love with someone is just that high. To love someone takes effort, and it takes actual care for the relationship.
Women tend to love men more from an opportunistic standpoint.
But you know,
yeah.
And he covered himself from an opportunistic standpoint. So the idea that, you know, I use you, you use me.
You don't.
No.
Can I just say all men say they don't, and they actually do.
I really don't.
You've never.
Yeah.
Yes. You don't.
No.
Can I just say all men say they don't, and they actually do.
I really don't.
You've never done it in your life.
No, I've done it in my life.
So yes.
But the last time I did it was 2014. I remember specifically.
What?
Yeah, never again.
Why?
Female vaginas are disgusting.
No, they're not.
Do you eat vagina? Exactly. Point proven.
No point proven.
You don't do it. Why should I do it?
Listen, a woman's body.
Fire for that. Fire for that.
Is beautiful. For me, what I don't understand is like why it's such a stern no. Because why wouldn't you want to please your woman? You know, because have you not ever seen?
Like I said before, it's a woman's job to please a man.
Hold on, brother.
No, that is actually ridiculous. When it comes to being intimate and in the bedroom, it's not. It's like when you do something for someone, have you not seen how and they
went down and that bitch must have stank or something. Like something must have bad just must have happened. That 2014 experience must have been scarring.
Like it. Have you not seen how much they perform better? And I'm not just talking sexually, like in general.
I don't want to sound like an asshole, but a woman's ejaculation is irrelevant. You only need one ejaculation to create life, and that's the man's. Now, with that said, does that mean
The funny part about this is, how you gonna go from so if to say some shit like this, right? That means every time you have sex, you're trying to procreate. You're not even doing it for the enjoyment of the sexual experience. If like, listen, what he's saying is 100% right, true, right? You only need the man to nut in order to create life. But sex has more purpose than fucking procreation. I will admit. The purpose of sex is to procreate. Have sex with a person, you nut, you have a baby, create a family, etc. Just from a species biological standpoint, right? But most people have like recreational sex, they enjoying it. It's more than that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot more than that. There's a connection involved, unless you just fucking something randomly. You got emotional connection. You got how she sees herself. How she sees you in her eyes. Are you sexy? Or you, whatever the case may be, do you make her feel sexy? Do you turn her on? Give her those butterflies, all that shit. I think for him to have just enjoy myself sex But then to also say, well, only one person needs the nut for procreation is like contradicting, because every time you have sex, you're not trying to procreate.
I'm not gonna please my girl or whatever.
So her nut. So in his world, her nut doesn't
Definitely
matter.
shit in bed.
Definitely shit in bed. That's like in his world, her nut doesn't matter.
Just like a woman's duty to go to work is elective, my duty to please her sexually is elective.
A little bit different in the dojo, man.
Is that ridiculous?
Because no.
A little bit different over
You
here,
know what?
man.
How about this? With that logic, I'm just gonna stop paying the bills.
Okay.
That would be ridiculous.
I'll have to
wouldn't
go
it
work then.
Huh?
I'll have to go and work then and start paying the bills.
be? Hey, and then you'd lose attraction for me, wouldn't you?
Because I just don't understand why.
Lose
Like,
attraction
just
for me.
I feel if you just started doing it, you might have a better like relationship.
Well, no.
Your woman might not like it, but I'm just saying, from a standpoint, I don't understand why you have to constantly dominate, even in this scenario. Like, having sex is an intimate thing. It's an energy exchange.
Energy exchange, more typical female gibberish. Like, bro, energy exchange, what the hell? Bro, get out of here with that.
You know why he can't see this? Is because he just goes in there and get a nut off. If you just go in there and get a nut off, you don't understand how emotionally connected she might be when she has sex with you, and when she shares her body with you, or she allows you to see her in a way that she doesn't typically allow men to see her in. So his reaction to her saying that makes sense. It makes sense for him.
It's a really beautiful thing. So
You know what
why
I'm
would you
saying?
not want to make her feel good?
Most women get off on you getting off. That's the truth. If we're going to be all the way about this.
No. Women thought that. No. Women used to think that through porn.
Really?
Through everything. Like, yeah.
Okay.
And this is what I'm saying. But women have started pleasuring ourselves, doing things. So now we know how nice certain things feel.
And women are more miserable now than ever before.
I don't think they are.
Women derive their pleasure from serving a man they love, admire, and respect, and their children. I provide. So then you got to provide the ejaculations. Man, I mean, I don't know what's so hard to.
You even hear somebody in the
I'm trying to
back.
work out if you're being serious or you're actually like playing a game
I'm
with
dead
me.
serious. A guy getting.
You even
his
hear
girl
somebody
off
in the
the
back
they
laugh
should
like,
do
"What
it.
the fuck?"
But they don't have to. Just like I think a man has to work and his woman.
Okay,
shouldn't
we'll just
have
do it and then just see what you get different results. That's all I'm saying.
to. I don't do that. I'm not. And if that's what she needs to get off, well, too bad. I'm not doing it.
Oh.
Yeah, because that's a submissive thing too. I'm not.
What is your issue with men submitting to women? Like, genuinely, I feel like this is a big issue of yours.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
So,
no, but I'm saying, I'm just saying, don't go into, don't.
Go into what?
I think listening to this, like his whole philosophy is very consistent. In his world, she wants your money, clout, status, looks, and things like that she'll value for as a man. Your ability to be used by her, or whatever. And in his world, I need this out of the woman. So then when he also says things like, okay, her nut doesn't matter, emotional connection, that's bullshit. It's because he's never had to consider that. He's never been like, okay, why should it matter, or how can I use it, right? And then it's like, it makes sense though. When you think she only wants money and clout, you might not even care to understand that she can be emotional connection matters, because you're thinking over here. You're not thinking, over there, if that makes sense. Like, he's not even considering that an emotional connection can be more important than status, looks, and money. So it's like he did, like, you put no skill points over there.
Don't go into it, because you're about to go into it. I'm just saying, genuinely, you have such an issue with just.
You don't like when I use your logic on you.
He has definitely got some issues. No, I just don't like the fact that it's this power dominating thing that you want as a man. Like, yes, you can have it, but just in some situations, just know when to also submit as a man and surrender. Not everyday masculine man.
No,
Glad you find it funny.
Absolutely not. We will not. We don't negotiate with terrorists. We don't concede to women.
So women have been dogs, terrorists. What's the relationship like with the women in your life, like family-wise?
Fantastic. It's actually my mom that taught me a lot of I grew up in a Muslim household, so she was the one that told me, don't commit to these Western women, blah, blah, blah. So my mom is actually like a very strong symbol in my life when it comes to dating this situation. If it weren't for her, I'd probably be a simp,
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up but my parents are together to this day. My dad, my dad was the man, my mom was the woman. My dad led, my mom followed, and you know, they have a fantastic relationship, and a big part of that is because they you know, stuck to their roles. And it was my mom that told me from a young age, don't marry these American women, these Western women. They're not going to cook and clean for you. They're not going to take care of you. You're going to come to the home, it's going to be disheveled, blah blah blah. And I used to think to myself, like, Mom, chill, what's wrong with you? But now that I'm 32 versus being 12, 20 years later, I'm able to look back on that advice and be like, God damn, Mom was spending some heat back in the day.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's understandable why like you think the way that you think because of your environment and your influence, which is a good thing for you.
I mean,
my background, right? Like I didn't like at first. It was like, okay, I don't agree with this, right? Because I used to be like, you know, growing up American, I was born in Connecticut. I was like, Mom, you're wrong. Like, women aren't like that. What's wrong with you? Blah blah blah. Like, you're a misogynist, Mom, and you got some ingrained misogyny, right?
You even said that.
No. But back then, I don't even think I knew what that word was. That's like a buzz term nowadays that no one knows the definition of anyway. But anyway, so as I got older, right, like the things that she started to say started to reflect more and more when I dealt with more and more girls, and I was like, what the hell is going on here? And talking with other men, talking with, you know, with women, etc. My experiences. Like, and then talking with thousands of men, and then also talking with, I'm in a very unique position where I've talked to both genders on a podcast, coaching sessions, etc. So I'm in a, you know, very certain situation where I'm able to get anecdotal evidence. I have statistics, etc. to back up what I'm saying. And I would say my approach to dealing with women, dating, relationships, sex, etc. is a very pragmatic way to approach the dating marketplace based on today's scenarios. Would this dating advice work in the 1950s? Maybe not, because women were different back then. But nowadays, they're significantly different. Like, from a more negative standpoint, not to a man's benefit. Okay.
Right, it's yes or no?
That's a hell no. Unacceptable, disgusting, would never wife that girl up. Recreational use only, guys.
Why a hell no? So what's yours?
What's my body count? What's the term in England when you want to invoke the Fifth Amendment but you can't?
No comment.
No comment. There we go.
So no comment. So is yours over 200? 300. Yours is a lot more.
Sparta.
Wow, and yours is over 300, and then you want to get mad at 30. This isn't even a double standard anymore. Like, he's just taking it too far. I think it's more attractive if a man doesn't, because if you can... No, it is. Like, if you can show discipline, why are you laughing?
Yeah.
No, because if for me, it shows, like, self-control and discipline.
Most men, if left to their own devices, want to have sex with as many women as possible. Men are designed to spread seed. We want quantity. Women are designed to protect their egg for the best seed. Women want quality. We're very different.
From a biological standpoint, that's just that's the fact right there. No bullshit. And I learned this in a zoology class. No bullshit. You know what I'm saying? As y'all know, I got a background in cellular molecular biology, and that was I remember that first lecture. The professor was like, he came in and he showed a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he was like, who's more fit? And it was like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the gym, right, flexing. He was like, who's more fit, me or him? And he was like, who's more fit? And everybody said, Arnold. So I was like, so he was like, no, actually me, because I have more kids than Arnold. Because from a biological standpoint, you know what I'm saying, a man's job is to spread his seed as much as he can. Whether you like to hear it or not, it's just a biological standpoint. Now, say that to a woman, I'm trying to spread my seed as much as I can. Or some shit like that. She ain't gonna like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's because monogamy has been predominantly pressed on our society, and it's a lot of different things about that. But
do you think you're liked as a person?
That's a good question. That's a very, very good question. And my thing is create a legacy so that whether they like you or not, they respect you. Yeah. That's what I care about. I don't care if people like me or not. Because I'll tell you this, there's plenty of girls that I've had sex with that didn't like me, but they respected me. Because women must respect you to fuck you.
Yeah. Yes and no. So why wouldn't you?
That's it. That was my life.
Because
that's my life.
You were attracted to me in the first place because of my lifestyle. I'm not going to change who I am because of a woman. When a man changes for a woman, he grows into something she's going to have contempt for. When a woman changes for a man, she'll grow into something he'll love. That's how I got you in the first place. Why would I change? And that's the biggest mistake that guys make, is they get in a relationship, they get comfortable, they get fat, they lose their ambition. I got her, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And that woman starts to lose what? Respect for him. When a woman changes for a man, he gains more respect for her.
Men and women are so different, aren't they?
They are. When you're changing for a woman, that inevitably
At this
puts you
point,
in a leadership
Chian not
role.
even debating.
When
She
a
just
woman's in a
like,
leadership
yeah.
role, she's gonna lead you all right
Yeah.
to the end of the relationship.
Justin.
Yeah.
She said, oh,
No, why not?
there's no
I'm not
dice.
gonna let a girl look at my phone.
Why?
Because I'm gonna have other girls in there, 100%. The thing is that most women can't handle the truth. So I'm very big on like being upfront and letting her know, listen, I'm gonna have other girls, whatever it may be, but you're the main one, and she's got to accept that. But her looking at my phone is just gonna hurt her feelings.
So you want an open relationship?
Yeah, open on mine, close on her end.
That's not fair though.
Life isn't fair.
I don't know. I just kind of feel like the kind of relationship that I want isn't that.
What if I told you women don't know what they want in general?
Some don't.
Most don't.
Some.
This has been statistically proven that women don't know what
Okay,
they want.
cool. In your little incel culture podcast.
Okay, women don't know what they want, and worse yet, they're not going to be honest about what they want because of strict societal standards where they don't want to look like hoes.
Yeah, because you guys call women hoes.
Rightfully so.
Anything. Not rightfully so.
Why can we call guys bums, but we can't
why
call girls hoes?
Why can't a woman just like be sexually liberated? Genuinely, why does she have to be a hoe?
Okay, do you want to be a
Hold
hoe?
on,
I
Chian.
don't really care what you
hold
think if you're.
Yeah, I think this whole sexually liberated thing, like we have tried to go so far from being judgmental. We have like gone off the charts of being like conscious about what our actions do. You know what I'm saying? Like this idea of like, you could be sexually liberated and still not be accessible. You can be sexually liberated. You can say, I'm confident in my sexuality. You know, I'm body, you know, my sexiness as a woman, my looks, I'm body, you know, my curves, my hips, etc. I feel sexually liberated. But like that has gone into like, my body count is 900. And that's dumb as fuck. That's dumb. Cause there's no way as an individual, I would tell my little sister this, anybody this, right? You are just giving so many people access to you. There's no way you're sitting here saying, how is this person good or bad for me? There's no way you're saying, okay, do they have this or do they not have this potential STD or not? There's no way you're taking the actual time to sit here and consider the impact that this person may have in your life. Even if it's just on a simple level as sex. You don't know who they fucking. You don't know, you know, what they'll do when after they fuck or, you know, before they fuck. You don't know what kind of conversations y'all gonna have. You don't know what kind of influence they're gonna have when they come into your life. That is reckless. Period.
I'm gonna say I'm a hoe.
No,
but I'm saying.
No, I'm asking you. I'm not attacking you. I'm asking you this as a question.
I don't want to be labelled a hoe for what you guys paint as a hoe.
Well, let's peel a layer back. Do you want to go out and have sex with a bunch of different men at the same time?
Why would I want to do that?
Okay. You want to hear something magical? Most women don't want to do that. Most girls don't even want to be hoes yet. Girls argue and, you know, debate to be hoes. I don't get it. They don't even want to be hoes.
We don't, but it's just it's just a double standard. We don't want you to.
Wah.
Sorry.
Are we gonna cry? Like, I mean, there's a bunch of double standards that don't benefit men.
I'm just saying that I feel like this hyper independence liberation like movement is because we're just sick of men like you that want to just attack women for being able to do something that you guys are doing just as much.
I'm not attacking. I'm reporting.
No, but I'm
a fact.
saying in general, like.
I'm reporting a fact. If a woman is promiscuous, she is by definition a hoe.
Okay. And you sleeping around?
I am a homemaker.
Right. Homemaker. You're just an idiot.
Men can be hoes.
Okay.
Men that have sex with a lot of women are successful.
In your eyes, as men, this is the thing. It's like this brotherhood thing. It's you guys. It's you.
Okay, let's go back to biology.
And no, we're not going to keep going back to biology. Actually, no, we're not.
That's where it all stems from.
Why does he keep going back to biology? We're not in a science lesson.
Listen.
So, what would you do?
He can't use that argument if he's just having sex for fun.
If I was going on holiday every other month.
'Cause you're not spreading your seed, so you're not even.
You'd be single.
Really?
Are we going together?
So, what would you do if I was going on holiday every other month?
You'd be single.
Really?
Are we going together? Or are you going by
Sometimes.
yourself? Sometimes. Oh no, you'd be single.
What would you do if I couldn't cook?
You'd be single.
Can you cook?
That's irrelevant.
No. Can you cook though?
I mean, can you fight? Let's ask pointless questions.
How is it a pointless question? I'm trying to get to know you.
Because that's your job.
What's my job?
To make sandwiches.
Did he actually just say,
Yo.
my job is to make sandwiches?
How am I going to fight off the intruders if you don't make
Bro,
sandwiches?
scaring
Eat
the
substance.
hoes.
You're a dick. What would you do if I earned more money than you?
It would never happen.
How do you know that?
Because no girl's going to match my ambition or drive.
I'm quite an ambitious woman.
LOL. That's cute, but it would never happen. Men build the world for real.
Like, why is the goal always about like being on top, firstly?
Well, missionary is a fantastic position, first of all. And the other reason why men have to be on top is because that's the only thing women respect.
There's so many people that just like a nice, quiet, humble life.
Here's the thing. All women, you know what?
Stop saying all women as well.
Okay, now that you said that. All women want a guy that's better than them.
Why do you get annoyed and so frustrated about men that are simps?
They're giving women that...
All women want a guy who would be a role model for her son.
don't deserve attention and validation. Attention and validation, messing up for everybody.
It's nice when you have men that are attentive to your needs.
By you being successful and being the man that she wants in general, you're already attentive.
You can track it down to like probably some quality in that man which she respects or admires, which she would want her son or her potential child to be influenced by.
To her needs.
What would you do if your family didn't like me?
Too bad. I've made, mistakes in Islamic culture, but my parents trust my judgment and they would accept it.
What would you do if I had a lot of male friends?
A girl that has a lot of guy friends is a problem. That's a liability. Male friends, big red flag. If a girl has a bunch of male friends and she's not willing to give that up to be with you, for the streets. Women value a man that has social proof.
Right.
Men don't care about
be in the house
proof.
making
When
sandwiches.
you have friends, it's a liability. When I have friends, it's social proof. It makes me more attractive. It makes you less attractive.
Let's hear this.
Big red flag. If a girl has a bunch of male friends and she's not willing to give that up to be with you, for the streets. Women value a man that has social proof. Men don't care about a woman's social proof. When you have friends, it's a liability. When I have friends, it's social proof. It makes me more attractive. It makes you less attractive.
What would you do if your friends were liking my pictures?
I don't associate with men that can't attract women. All my friends are good with women. And there's a bunch of reasons for this, but you can't hang out with simps. You can't have friends that are thirsty for women. If I have friends, it's social proof. It makes me more attractive. It makes you less attractive.
What would you do if your friends were liking my pictures?
I don't associate with men that can't attract women. All my friends are good with women.
All right, let me. Here's the bullshit in this. My friend group, a lot of us came from high school together. A lot of my friends' girlfriends, we all went to the same high school. So I know them. I know my friends. I know their girlfriends, etc. You know what I'm saying? She may post a picture, and it may get liked. I might even comment like "Yo, gang" or "W." Like might be like "What's up, gang?" or put the black heart or something like that. Like, I get women. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my homies never sit here and be like, "Oh, that's weird." You know what I'm saying? Oh, my girlfriend is friends with me. I even see on the internet that like dudes be like, "Oh, my homies can't be friends with my girl." What the fuck? What kind of homies do you have? Just imagine this. This woman could potentially be the mother of my brother, not by blood, but by bond. The mother of my brother's child. And I just have no relationship with her. Now, again, I'm not talking about a suspicious situation. Like me and her are just in his house when he's not there and we just hanging out. And I'm not talking about some weird shit like that. But like, cool. You know what I'm saying? Or the fact that, like, if I like her picture, and I'm not saying my homie should be all in my chick liking every picture, all in her DMs, and they having these side conversations. Like, it's like shit can get weird. I'm not gonna lie, it's thin ice. It's the thin ice territory. But I think it's weird for me to be super close with somebody like this. Is really my homie, like my tight circle, my close friends, and he has a woman who's an important woman in his life, and I don't know her at all, know nothing about her. Right? It's high and by kind of situation. Like this is a stranger to me. I think that's just weird. It's for the friend group I have. We all know each other. You know, I know my homies' girlfriends. They know me. We like it's just. There's a bunch of reasons for this. That doesn't mean she's gonna cheat. That doesn't mean they're gonna go behind your back and snake you. If you have that suspicion, get rid of your girlfriend and get rid of your homie. I feel like I could leave $20,000 on the table around any of my picked out homies, and that $20,000 would still be there. Can't hang out with or if one of my homies' girlfriend tried to approach me on the side and like, yo, I'm trying to have sex, I'm telling my homie. That's the integrity that we have for each other. Like if you're in a situation where you're insecure, or it's not insecure, but you're uncomfortable about the loyalty or the integrity of the people around you, you got to change the motherfuckers, man.
simps.
Real
You
shit.
can't have friends that are thirsty for women. Yeah, simps mess everything up, but makes it better for guys like us, man. We just come in and it is what it is. We clean up. Anytime a woman is the focal of a man's life, it's a problem. 100%. And the only way a man can give a woman the best life is when she's not the focus.
I don't think so.
Well, that's easy for you to say as a woman.
What would you do if I wanted to start an OnlyFans?
You're serious?
Yeah.
You'd be single.
Why'd I be single?
Because I'm not going to have my girl out there on the internet showing her butthole for $3.99. Your girl wants to do
agree
OnlyFans?
with that.
Bro, you ain't got a girl. You got a 304. To the streets she shall return, I'm telling you, or else your life is going to suck.
But what if I just wanted to make my own money?
Can't do it being my assistant or something.
This is a complete personal choice. You know, some people, is it cheating? Is it like she's literally going out there and fucking other guys? No, you know what I'm saying. But as a man of privacy, you know, I just don't want that. I don't want the world having that type of access to my woman.
Else?
You know what I'm saying?
Your assistant, an actual paid assistant.
Yeah, paid by penis.
Well, who $3.99?
You're getting everything else. You get the lifestyle. You're living for free, traveling the world, whatever it may be. You get the title of my last name. It's a W for you all the way. You get seen in public with me.
His ego is through the roof. How do you think you've done on the date?
I thought this was supposed to be a date.
Yes. Oh, would you like me to be more submissive? Oh my God. Hey. would that make you feel better?
It would, but it's okay. It was a debate. It's fine.
Really? So next time, if you want to date...
A debate date.
So if a
Debate
woman
date.
wants to date you, she
Yeah.
just has to come being a pick-me.
I mean, giving a man what he wants, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, of course not.
You're expecting a masculine man that's a leader, ambitious, etc. So I expect a woman that's feminine and submissive. I don't understand why it's a crime for a man to want a woman the opposite of him when women want the opposite of themselves. Being toxically masculine is bad, but that's what women really want.
So if I surrender,
let
be more
it end
submissive.
smoothly.
It'll make you way more
He
attractive.
going out on his guns.
Okay.
I would take you on a serious date if you were submissive.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So we're just gonna...
Is this the part where we cut the camera? No, I'm just kidding.
I'll keep it rolling. Exhausting. That was heavy.
It was fantastic. I won the debate.
Yeah? You think she likes you?
I think she respects me.
This just turned into a debate, and this is the problem. Like, he doesn't let me just challenge him and not every day argue, you know?
I don't feel like I got grilled at all. Like I said, I'm a professional when it comes to deciphering womanese. And I do this all the time. I'm a professional womanizer / misogynist, so this is what I do.
Why is funny as shit, though.
I know he's got some deep-rooted issues that he needs to work on, because right now he's projecting it into society in the wrong way.
Well, I'm not delusional. So I'm going to say a 10 out of 10.
Once again, this is the kind of breed of man that I will not entertain. He believes in what he wants, and he probably does get women because of his bullshit that he spills. So that's on him. But for me, it's a no, so he's going to get a 3.2.
2 is crazy. What did Fresh get? Fresh got a 6.5. Sneak Bow, I thought that was Sneak Out. Got 9.4. Females in there 7.7. Pekka made most. Made boost 6.0. Ed Matthews 4.
3.2.
Dang. What the fuck? Right. Because he's 32, I guess. You're 36. No, that was crazy. That was crazy, chat. We end the YouTube video right there. Dojo to the moon to Saturn. And we live in a solar system. The Lens don't even know we exist. B.